Greetings. I think it's time for me to announce to the world that I am Jesus Christ. Yes, you heard correctly. I am the incarnation of Jesus Christ. Okay, hold on. Before all of you Christians around the world get in an uproar and want to crucify me, I'm not quite that. I'm actually the incarnation of Buddha, the Buddha. Not quite. But I'm amazed when I think about the people that have been on the planet that have been wonderful demonstrations of enlightenment and God's love. Or if you choose not to call God God, the goodness, the good, positive energy that exists in our universe. They've been wonderful examples of that. For the Jews, Moses was the one, was the light. For the Muslims, Muhammad. For the Rastafarians, Haile Selassie. And, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, there are many people. For that matter, Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa was a wonderful example of God's love. And she lived that in the way that she did charity for the very, very poor in India. But I think that most of us, probably all of us, don't have to go very far to see people in our lives that are wonderful demonstrations of enlightenment, higher thinking, and God's love. The goodness of the universe. Family, friends. I mean, when I think of family, I just have to basically go to my mom and I look at some of the things that she's done through her life, and I definitely see God. With friends, to name a few, Sandy Keefe out of South Florida, who is wonderful with astrology. I've made the mistake of saying numerology on a couple of occasions, but it's astrology and spirituality. And Sandy happens to be going through a lot, health-wise, but along the way, when she shares with me the people that she comes in contact with and the people that she's touching on a daily basis, it's wonderful. Bernard Chip Jackson out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, here in the United States. Another evolved soul, continuing to search for enlightenment. He's always learning and growing and has that willingness to share the knowledge. So that's just to name a few. But even strangers, I have come in contact with strangers in my life that I swore it was God that came through them. It was God operating through them. Strangers that I only interacted with one time, but I'll never forget. The one that comes to mind in particular is a woman. She was pretty elderly at the time, probably in her 70s, if not close to 80. And she was homeless, walking with a cart. And she had different things in the cart that she was trying to sell to people. And, I have always been the type to respect people for the fact that they're human beings. They're sharing this human experience with me. So when we came in contact with each other, I was very, very respectful and nice, but I was embarrassed to say there was a little bit of judgment, and I bought the candy up. She had a box of candy, and I'm thinking, okay, this candy's probably no good. Probably the box is half empty, but I'm going to buy this candy and I'm going to, support her. And I pulled out $1 and gave her the dollar, and she smiled at me and she picked up the box of candy and she handed it to me. And we went along our merry way. But there was so much love in that moment from her. And what I saw was an evolved individual, someone that was enlightened despite their human condition. When I got home and I opened that box of candy, the candy was fabulous. It was a full box. You could tell that it was fresh. And it was, I mean, really good chocolates. I should have given that lady probably $10. But that's neither here nor there. The fact is, she's probably long gone now because this was when I was in my late 20s, early 30s. But I will never forget that soul. Never will I forget that soul. So I'm sure that each and every one of you can think of people that you've come in contact along the way that you didn't know. They were strangers, but they touched you in such a divine, positive, uplifting way. It was like God was working through them. I don't know if any of you all remember the song What If God Was One of Us by Joan, I think her name's Joan Osborne. Yeah, Joan Osborne. Great singer and wonderful song, beautiful song. What if God was one of us? And that's something to think about. So in saying that, I now say, behold, Jesus. Behold, Buddha. Behold, Mother Teresa. I got to thinking, what if each and every one of us tried our best to live our lives, patterning our lives after the life of Christ? You know, trying to be more Christ-like, or more Buddha-like, or Mother Teresa-like. You know, more Mother Teresa-like. I mean, what if we did? I think this would be an absolutely phenomenal world. I mean, it would be a world with so much divine love. And we would probably see so much more miracles. Love, peace, and blessings.